So how to lose belly fat is the number one question that I am asked by women in midlife. So let's get into that. First of all, it's important to understand why you're gaining belly fat. There are actually two reasons. First, as your estrogen levels drop when you go through perimenopause, and then in menopause they actually flatline, your body readjusts its fat distribution and it actually moves fat to around your waist. The second reason that you may be noticing more belly fat is that maybe you are actually not using as many calories as you think. So you're eating more than you're spending in a day. And that's super easy to do as a midlife woman because number one, we are losing our muscles as we age, and also even more as we go through menopause. And as we replace that muscle with fat, and as that muscle disappears, our body requires fewer calories. And then the second thing is that we're probably spending more time just sitting around. And that may be in front of our computer or exhausted at the end of the day watching Netflix. So what to do about it? Now, first of all, it's important to know that there are all kinds of reels here online that are like snatch your waist, lose the belly fat, do this kind of exercise, whatever. Those are not the answer, okay? What it comes down to is you losing fat on your body as a totality, right? You've got to drop fat. And that only comes from being in a true calorie deficit. And now the bad part here is that when you are losing fat, you don't get to pick which part of your body the fat comes off of. Your genetics do that for you. So if you're somebody who gains weight on their belly first, like I am, then guess what? That's like the last place you're going to lose it. You may lose your boobs and your butt and all the things that you want to keep before that stomach fat is ever touched. But there are a couple things you can do to influence getting your waist smaller and your clothes fitting better. And those have to do with the kind of training that you're doing. So there are two things that we midlife women can do training-wise to help our bodies decide to lose the visceral fat and the waist fat rather than the other fat stores on our body. The first is to start lifting weights. And I'm not talking about any pink dumbbells, waving them around and doing a ton of reps. I'm talking about lifting heavy for you, lifting at a level where you are really pushing your body, pushing your muscles. And it's not that you're doing spot training, but what that does is it sets off a cascade of biochemical reactions in your body, which actually get your belly fat moving. In fact, I know this from personal experience because when I started weight training, the first thing I lost, I didn't lose any weight, but my body composition changed as my visceral fat disappeared and I started putting on muscle at the same time. And the second kind of exercise that you can do is sprint interval training. It's very high intensity training. It's like HIIT on steroids, and you do it for short periods of time. And that also has been shown to trigger your body to start using the visceral and the belly fat. So that's what you can do to start getting rid of the belly fat. And finally, I do want to point out that for some of you, and this is definitely not for all of you, but some of you, you may have something called hypothyroidism. So in midlife, sometimes our thyroid starts to act up. And if you have hypothyroidism, then that can cause weight gain. I have a client who just noticed that, hey, she's somehow gaining weight, went to her doctor, got her blood work done, and it turned out that her thyroid medication needed to be adjusted again because it wasn't taking care of her hypothyroidism, and so therefore she had started to gain weight. So that's a good thing to make sure that you're ruling out. So it's a simple blood test, and your doctor can then tell you what you need to do, or at least you can rule that out before you start getting super frustrated and trying to diet and do all the things. I hope this helped, and if so, let me know. Comment below what your experience has been, and remember to hit the subscribe button for more 40+ fitness tips.